Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's version of a NewsNow podcast. I would like to welcome Ashley Marr from Grimsby Benevolent Fund. She can explain what her big fancy title is. It's long and confusing. No, it's not. But we are going to talk about the changes and the, changes in reinstitution of an institution, yes, being the Grimsby Firefighter Association and GBF food drive, which will culminate on Parade Day, Saturday, December 4th. Mm-hmm. So, first off, Ashley, why don't we just talk about, even leading up to, the bags are going out in this week's paper.
Yeah.
So, if you're in Grimsby, you should be getting a plastic bag with all the designation and firefighter logo and information, and to fill with, Ashley will outline what would be great for this year.
Yeah.
But pre-parade and pre-morning of the parade, what can people do with that this year? Because it is a bit different.
Yeah, so first we just want to thank the Grimsby Fire Department. As usual, they are a huge supporter of our annual Christmas Hamper program, and we truly couldn't implement this program without their support. We also want to thank the sponsors of the food drive bag for allowing us to distribute so many bags to all the households in Grimsby, so that we can get a nice selection of food donations for families utilizing our services. So if you're looking to fill your bag with some ideas, we are always in need of juice, coffee, tea, children's snacks, cleaning supplies, personal hygiene product, canned stew, chili, soups, and those types of items. And so generally we're asking if you guys would consider filling your bag. You can bring it to the Peach King Center from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then
on Saturday the 4th.
On Saturday the 4th, yeah. And the Grimsby Fire Department will be there happily accepting the donations. Or you can also bring your donations to the Grimsby Parade during the evening,
yep,
with you to the event, and the fire department will also be collecting along the parade route.
Yep, as has been the tradition for as long as I can remember.
Exactly. So it's nice that we do both. That both options are provided in case our community members don't want to bring down the donations to the parade.
And even prior to Saturday the 4th, are you wanting people to bring donation bags to the GBF store on Elm?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So you're happy to drop them off through starting as soon as you can. We will be tracking the donations that are coming in for.
Do people come around
parade.
back?
Yeah, they'll come through the back. We generally ask if you can to bring them on our receiving days, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays from 10 to 4. But if that doesn't work with you, you can always bring your donations. We have a bin outside of our location that you can put in the food drive bin, or drop it off to a volunteer at the front of the store, and we're happy to accept it.
Very good. So maybe if we could talk about holiday season and the hamper program, and what some of the holes that need, not necessarily holes that need to be filled, but things that are typical needs, special at this time of year, whether it's for adults or teens or whoever.
Yeah, so this year, we're seeing lots of requests come in for support this year for the holiday season. And we've also received many inquiries about how to sponsor families and gift ideas, which has been fabulous. So we really appreciate that.
And how does that, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
How does that work? So say if someone wanted to sponsor a family with, small kids, a boy or girl or two girls, whatever, do you give them the information on what that particular family is and match them up, and then they could shop accordingly, kind of thing? Or?
Exactly, Mike. So what will happen is there's two options to support a family. The first one is if they want to sponsor, they can reach out to myself, and I'll make sure they have that information, but I'm extension 22, and we'll provide them with a family profile, and we give them the wish list of the items that the family would greatly benefit from,
okay,
and then they can choose the items that they'd like to select to support the family.
Okay. Do you ballpark any kind of a value to that? Like if someone has never done it before and says, okay, I'm glad to contribute $200 or $250 or is it just wide open, or how would you explain it to somebody, I guess is my question.
So our hampers are generally around $400 to $500. So every family is going to receive a grocery store gift card, a turkey, a case of pop, clementines. They'll get a personal hygiene pack. They'll get some winter warmth items, and then they get an allocated a Christmas treat bag, which is fabulous. And then they'll get allocated gifts for each member on their registration form, and those gifts are around anywhere from $20 to $30 for each member. And then of course, if we have extra for the little kids, we like to throw in like stocking stuffers or wrapping paper, chocolates, and so forth. So the value for each hamper is around $400 to $500. And when a family is being sponsored, they're looking at fulfilling the wish list. So that could be gifts or gift cards, stocking stuffer items, and so forth. And then the other option is reaching out, and we can give a list of most needed items or most requested items. And then like if a business or a family member wants to go and purchase those gifts and just donate them, then we can allocate them to the family based on their registration form.
Great.
And sorry, one more thing, is that sometimes on the registration form, there'll be lots of ideas, and we're encouraging our clients to give us ideas, because sometimes it depends on what we get.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Like likes, don't likes kind of thing, because you don't want to get Johnny something.
Use.
You don't want to get him a Leaf hat or a Habs fan, or vice versa. Maybe I should have corrected that. But
yeah. So we always just say, it's not... obligated to fulfill everything on the wish list. It's really, these are just ideas, and we leave it up to the individual that's sponsoring the family to choose what they'd like to give that person, because they'll be grateful because it's on their wish list.
So to make a connection on that program, like specifically the hamper program, they phone you or email or...
Either, they can reach out to myself or my colleague Ala.
Number and... extension?
Yeah, 905-309-5664, and I'm extension 22, and my colleague is 21.
And sorry, what's her name again?
Ala.
Very good.
And so then we can get in touch with talking about the details if the individual, if you'd like to sponsor a family, or if you'd like to just fulfill a list of requested wish list items, or receive a donation bin for collecting food.
Yep, and timing. So for the... when a family does that, say they call you on Saturday and they're going to go out and do their shopping that day, but to make it, I don't want to call it a deadline, it sounds a bit harsh at Christmas, but
it is important
to make the milestone that needs to be done for you to process, package, and deliver. What is the cutoff for when you would need something submitted for a sponsor family?
That's a great question. So we are ideally asking if all donations can be in by Friday, December 3rd, because the following week...
The day before the parade, just to clarify, because the parade will be on a lot of people's radar, and they think, okay, if we have to have it in by the Friday, then that's good.
Yes. Because the following week, we start looking at allocating all of these special gifts to the families, because the Christmas hampers actually start going out to registered families starting Saturday, December the 11th.
Right.
And then Monday, December 13th, and Tuesday, December 14th. Yeah. So we like to make sure we have that little bit of a week to have time to pack and assemble and make sure everything fits perfect. There's a lot there, and you want to
get it right, for sure.
So, but if that doesn't work, they can always reach out, and we can accommodate a timeline.
As long as you got a heads up,
Yeah.
So when you're saying have things brought in by that Friday, do you mean by, say, 5 o'clock? Like what time? Like, is it all day and things go to the GBF store?
That's correct, yes.
And those would come around the back. You wouldn't really go in the front door with those, I don't think.
Right, if they can come to the back. And then if for some reason they can't, then they can certainly come to the front and have a staff member paged.
Very good.
Especially too, if you're sponsoring a family, we always want to make sure that it is identified that this is a Christmas gift for a family, and then we'll ask you for that specific family
That's
number.
what I was going to say. Would you put it in a specific box or a package of some kind and write a name or a number, or there must be some sort of communication so you would connect those dots.
Yeah, so every donor that is sponsoring a family will get a family number,
right.
And when they drop off the donation,
it's a number, right?
It's a number. They'll give us the number, and then we know to put that aside because it's for that specific family.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Make sure you give me a number before you go, because we'll do one for sure.
Oh, great. Okay,
for
thanks.
Sure. Okay, so let's talk about food donations and the parade. Again, Christmas hamper, or this time of year, I'm sure there's the staples. You've mentioned them a bit, but again, is there anything special that you run short of or want to focus on for this next couple weeks?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I feel for our biggest need right now, again, and I know I've mentioned this a little bit, but it's definitely beverages. So juice, coffee, tea, water, children's snacks like granola bars, crackers, goldfish crackers, those special snacks that we don't always get. Cereal, oatmeal, condiments, cleaning supply is a big one because every household needs that. So we run through that product very quickly.
Yeah.
Same with hygiene.
Now,
product.
are you talking like laundry detergent and things like that,
Yeah.
or dish soap?
That's exactly it. Laundry soap, dish soap, bleach, so they can do bleach and water for sanitizing. A nice plus is like garbage bags, Ziploc baggies, aluminum foil, plastic wrap, those types of items that you would use in your home. Because if we have them, every family registered with us would benefit from that, right? It's not just geared to one type of family. So household product is a big one for us. The other one would be pet food supplies. We have a lot of families or seniors or individuals that have a little companion furry friend that needs to be looked after as well.
Yeah.
So that's always helpful.
And those are vital to those people in a whole different way, right?
Yeah.
Like some people think food and you need food to survive, and they might interpret a pet as a bonus, but when somebody's alone,
that's their family, right, and their companion. So
that's exactly.
And we
what I mean.
see a lot of that, and some will even say, "Well, if I can even just get food for my dog, I'll go without." And it's like, no, you both don't need to be going without. We'll find a way to make sure you both have food. So pet food is always very, very much appreciated. Baby supplies are nice too. We are often having to order sizes 4, 5, 6, and your pull-ups. So diaper sizes would be helpful, along with wipes.
Forgive me, were those sizes diaper sizes or were those clothes sizes?
Those were diaper sizes.
Okay.
Yeah, for the babies.
All right.
So for babies, and then like kind of like your toddler infant snacks are very helpful.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask you when you're talking about snacks and things, because the kind of thing that came to mind there too, and you don't think of it necessarily with the holidays, but is lunch stuff for kids going to school.
Yeah, and after school snacks like that.
Right. So what, I understand what you're saying about the goldfish and those kinds of treats, but what I don't want to say what's needed because you kind of know what's needed, but you mentioned about like the sandwich bags, the plastic, the sealable things to send a sandwich off. But is there any other things that would help with kids' lunches and things when the holidays are over?
Yeah.
The juice boxes, like you mentioned, those kinds of things.
And then the special snacks. Like, I know they can't always bring nuts to school and stuff, but the healthier snacks, like trail mix is always, nice. Like, I know it's for the older children, but they love that. We don't usually get that, or we can't usually purchase it. It's just too expensive.
Yep.
Just the different types of snacks, like your fruit snacks, your fruit roll-ups, your bear paws. Like, we don't always have that. Ours is very basic. It's normally like granola bars, some pudding cups, fruit cups. But when we get those specialty snacks, it's really nice to offer the parents a variety to choose from.
Sure.
So, and then the children love it because they get like different snacks in their lunches, or a special treat when they get home.
Yep.
So that's helpful. And then the other thing too, now that we're coming into the colder weather, we're actually very, very low on chili.
Well, you mentioned stew and soups and things. Like you think of warm and stick
chili,
to your ribs kind of thing, right?
Exactly. Those nice little hearty meals. And the other thing I should mention too is it's really nice when we sometimes get the selection of the pole cans. Because unfortunately, and believe it or not, we are seeing some homeless individuals come through our doors that are needing emergency food, and we work very hard and quickly to try and get them to a shelter where they can put somewhere to rest their head and have a hot meal. But in the meantime, they often need the cans with the pull tabs. So that is super helpful.
No can opener handy.
Exactly. We do provide a can opener, but it is easier for them if they can pull it, and then we make sure they have a disposable cutlery and bowl to eat the food. So that's always a bonus.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, I think, is there anything else food related? Because I was just going to maybe ask about the toy aspect or any contributions that way for Christmas, but I don't want to go past anything food-related donation. We've talked about the timing, which is key, and that to focus on any pre-donations to the GBF store.
Yes, please.
And day of at Peach King, or the parade itself, and the firefighters will pick it up along the route. Those are really the three options this year.
Exactly.
But the volunteer aspect and the infrastructure of how things are being executed by you this year is very different. So it's not what everybody, including me, has been going to for 25 years at Trinity.
Exactly.
So go through how that need has changed and the volunteers and explain.
Yeah, so it's tough, right? Because we're still kind of battling with COVID and safety precautions.
Everybody wants to be careful.
Exactly, we need to be careful. We've come this far with our agency in delivering frontline service and ensuring our clients are looked after well. So unfortunately, we can't go back to our traditional model of implementing our Christmas hamper. So it is different this year. It is kind of sad because it is so heartwarming to see the generosity of our community come together, wanting to help, and we always kind of explain it as organized chaos.
It
the
is.
Sorting and the packing of
food. It's the most
food.
positive feeling you can get in a calendar year is that event.
It's so true. And just that true feeling and meaning of what Christmas is about, coming together, helping each other, and just, really enjoying the holidays. So unfortunately, it is different this year again. It will be very similar as to how our program was implemented last year. So with regards to, we are unfortunately not at Trinity United Church this year. We are utilizing our wellness hub, which is at 19 Elm Street.
Yep.
We are still working very closely with our community partners who will help transport our Christmas supplies, donations, and gifts to our wellness hub. And then we have a small team, an allocated team that will help pack the Christmas gifts for the registered families.
Right. So it's a dedicated bunch. It's not like you get a minor hockey team showing up and what do you need me to do?
Exactly.
So just to be clear, there won't be an opportunity for that.
No. Unfortunately not. But the other ways that because we've had a few inquiries such as the hockey team and gymnastics club and so forth, is the way that you can still help is implementing a food drive or collecting toys, teens helping teens, or kids helping kids, or gift cards are always so and a plus or a special gift for a family.
I was going to get to that too, because that was something we talked about before. We did the story in the paper a couple of weeks ago about how a gift card for whether it's Tim Hortons or McDonald's or anything by the schools in particular. But how they help the social element with kids. It's not a financial thing. It's not even an eating thing.
Exactly.
It's a social thing for them.
Absolutely. And with our teens too, because our teens and our men are usually the areas that we fall short of for gifts. And so for our teens, it's a little bit different. Like with kids, like young kids, you can really hide if a small child's coming from poverty at Christmas, because we get so many toys, and if they get a truck, they're happy with a truck. But with a teen, if they're coming from a family that is struggling a little bit, it's a little bit more evident and noticeable from their peers. So by giving them that gift card to go to Tim Hortons or go to McDonald's or go to Little Caesars to go and have lunch with their friends, they get to participate in that. They get to enjoy that meal with their friends, where maybe they wouldn't get to normally do that because it's just not in the monthly budget for their family.
Yep.
So that is a really special touch, the gift cards. And same for our seniors, like being able to provide a senior with a gift card to Station 1, or to a local coffee shop, or to Swiss Chalet that can go for lunch with a friend or a family member that may not be normally in their monthly budget, right? Yeah. So it's providing, like you said, Mike, that social outing, being able to go out with family or friends and really just get to enjoy that, where they may not always usually get to, and they'll miss out on that.
And one thing that I thought was really good that Jeff noted when we talked at the fire hall was, if you're going to donate a gift card of any kind, put it in an envelope. Some of them are attached to like a cardboard amount that they put on on when they're hanging them at the cash registers or whatever, to make it a bit larger, not just the size of a credit card, say, but put it in an envelope or something, because it'd be very easy for it to get in the bottom of a bag and people are taking things out, and you could have a $50 gift card just thrown out with a bag, or not even thrown out just because it could get lost.
Absolutely. So our team knows this time of year, like with the donations coming in, to take special
carefully.
care. But yes, it's super helpful.
Well, with the volume, holy cow.
It comes in very quickly and very generously. So if you can put it in a separate envelope, or when you're providing your donation to our team, attach it, or just say, there is a gift card or a monetary donation. Can you please ensure it's here, that it doesn't get lost? So then we're aware, and we make sure it gets allocated, and we put it away safely immediately. So that's a really great point. Thanks for bringing that up. It was.
No, thank Jeff. He brought it up. I just remembered it.
It's true, though.
Yeah. And Jeff Dancer from the fire department is who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Him and Jim Bergshoff are the key organizers of the food drive that I've worked with for many years.
Many years.
Yeah.
And the nice thing, too, because the fire department does such a great job, and the town of Grimsby promoting this parade, and our community is so generous. I also just want to mention a partnership that we've had for a couple of years, but is Westbrook. So Westbrook's done a really wonderful job. And what happens, because we've received such an abundance of food donations at the parade, which we're so thankful for and we need, but because we only have so much space in our building,
they're the interim storage.
They are interim storage, and they provide that space to us at free of charge, and so they allow us to store the donations there temporarily while we are in the process of filling our food bank and stocking our shelves in our warehouse. So
that's one of those little behind the scenes things that people don't see when they see a major event happen, and they it works, and people are very happy, and you're right, it's a very giving community, but there's so much that goes on to make it happen.
It's true. And so we're grateful for the generosity of our community, because we need the support, but also being able to store the food safely, properly, we would be in very big trouble if we didn't have that partnership. So I just want to acknowledge them too, because you're right, they're behind the scenes, but they're a tremendous help for us. So
every year,
that's
it.
So, but it's you know what, it's everyone coming together and really helping the families in our community that need us and who need our support the most. So it's not really just
one person. And the need is there, right? People tend to think, well, Grimsby is sort of an uptown community, a bit, whether it's real estate values or all the other things that are very strong and very nice about the community, but the need is there. It's real.
It's definitely there, and we're seeing a lot of change too, and it's for multiple reasons. Part of it's from COVID, part of it's just the struggle of high living costs.
Some of it can just be temporary, and
absolutely, and it truly can happen to any of us. Something can happen and change your whole situation, and any one of us could need help at some point. So we always say, come and see us. You're not alone. We will help you, because that's truly why we're here, why GBF is here, and why we exist. And our community would want you to do that. That's why, there's our community is so generous and embraces us. It's to help those, because we can all experience it at some point in our life.
Things change with a phone call sometimes.
Yeah. So if anyone's needing any help right now, please reach out to us. And again, the number is 905-309-5664, extension 22 or 21. And we'll definitely be able to discuss with you what we can do to try and make things a little bit easier, especially around the holiday season.
That's it. Is there anything else you think you've got in your notes? I think we've covered everything I can think of.
Yeah, the only other thing I just want to mention is with our food bank hours. So they do adjust a little bit in December, just because we do have to close down for a very short period of time to assemble all of the Christmas hampers and get them ready. So our families utilizing our services have been notified, and it is posted. But the last day for our regular services is Friday, December 3rd. And then we close down for a week to get all the hampers ready. Our families will receive the Christmas hampers, and then we open up for 4 emergency days to provide emergency groceries. And then, of course, if anyone's needing emergency assistance, you always call and we will fulfill. But we generally have to close down for a few days just so we can actually get all of these hampers together and ready for pickups.
And how many hampers went out last year?
Just over 200.
And I think that was a record year, no?
You know what? I'm not sure. It fluctuates, but I think it could have been a bit higher last year just because of COVID and all of the circumstances. Yes. So this year we will be anticipating around 250. Which is high,
25% increase.
Yeah, so 250 hampers will be assembling and getting ready. And we're ready for that, and we can only do it because of our community.
That's
so
it.
thank you, and to all of our partners. We really appreciate it.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for
And
having
anything
me, Mike.
you need, just let me know.
I will. Thank you. And thanks for listening.
That's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.